Hey, what's happening, everybody? My name is Harrison, and welcome to episode 12 of my RecyclerView Android tutorial. I believe this is going to be the last episode. Where we left off, we had this RecyclerView, and we added the buttons. We have the buttons right here in our main activity, and in this video, we're going to turn it into a fragment so we can get rid of that endless scroller issue that we were having problems with in the last video. Before we go any further, at the bottom of the main activity, let's go ahead and put in the onDestroy method just to make sure that that's killed when the user wants to kill it, when everything's destroyed. So override public. It's just good program to have it in there. Void onDestroy. Super dot onDestroy, and then hide the loader just in case if it's there. Alright, so let's make that fragment. Where do we want to start? Let's start. It won't be too hard because it's going to be a lot of copy and pasting. Probably just going to like copy and paste the entire main activity and then adjust a few things. But in the layout, let's go ahead and make a new layout folder. Layout, new, layout resource file, file name, fragment main, fragment_main, and we will be doing a relative layout. Okay, rock on and create. I don't know why it's showing this bar. If we go to 21. Alright, let's just get rid of that bar. So I went down to 21. If it's there, I'm sure it's fine. I don't think it's a problem. I don't know if it was always there, or if it just popped up, or it was kind of annoying to me. But hey, it's all good. So what we want to do with this fragment is pretty much do as much as we want with it, I guess, because it'll go on top of an activity, and what we want is pretty much what we had in the activity we want to make into the fragment. So we had these buttons, so we'll leave the title, but with these two buttons we will put into a fragment. So let's get started. Grab the buttons like we did in the last video. New button 2. That's cool. Go to text. Let's do gaming, and we're gonna call that the gaming button. Alright, the second button, what's the other one? Let's do pics. So the subreddit pics. I'm just changing the subreddits just to differentiate from the buttons in the other one, just for consistency's sake, or differentiation's sake, I guess is probably a better way to say it. But now we want to add that RecyclerView in. Let's go to our activity main. Where's our RecyclerView at? RecyclerView, I'm just going to copy and paste that. Put it under this. Go back into design. Let me grab this. I'm going to put it down under the buttons. There we go. Rendering problems, that's alright. Let's get rid of that. Text. Anything else? Oh god, it scared the crap. Sweet. Where was I? I think everything's fine here. Cool. So we pretty much just made our fragment. Yeah. Now we want this to populate into the activity. So we're gonna have to comment out a bunch of stuff. Everything we don't want, we will comment out. Comments in XML is gonna be less than sign, very similar to HTML. Exclamation mark, dash dash. Dash dash. greater than sign. Sweet. Let's add in the fragment. Oh, not like that. Fragment. Android layout width. Go ahead and wrap the content. Android height. Wrap content. No, don't get that there. Android name. We haven't created the activity yet, or the the Java class yet, so it will be named. What will we name it right now? com.harrison McGuire.RecyclerView. No. What are we looking for? The path. So we're looking for the path in which we will find the Java class that's going to run this fragment. So whatever your path is, go ahead, do that. So have com.harrisonmcguire.myrecyclerlist recycler dot, we'll call it fragment main, or let's call it main fragment. Yeah, that's fine. Of course, it can't find it because it's not there. Oh, it's coming though. Android ID equals at plus ID slash fragment. Android dot layout. I think we're good there. Let's go back into design and let's grab this and put it below that. Extend its widths. I believe this should be fine, right? Okay. Get rid of this. Extend it all the way down to where you want it, and that should be fine. That should. I was doing it the very slow way. I was doing it the arduous way, but yeah, I think that should be fine. And we have our fragment right there. That's awesome. Checking one thing real quick. Okay, we are good to rock and roll. So main fragment, let's create that class, main fragment. Job class, main fragment. It's gonna extends fragment, right? Extend fragment. I hope it does. What else we got going on? So let's just go ahead and copy and paste everything from the main activity. And let's see how much trouble we can get into. Copy and pasting everything from the main activity. We'll delete everything later. Let's just get what we need to over here. Let's import everything that they ask us to import. And so under fragments, since we're not extending activity anymore, some things, you know, activities and fragments, they do not share all the same properties. So we have to change some things and adjust, but that's totally cool. Like this right here, I'm already down below. Let's just start from the top. So let me be more confusing. I like being very, very confusing. That is my forte. Alright. Set content view. So the first thing that's a little different is that we're not on create, we're creating a view. So let's go ahead and yeah, so this will probably be the biggest difference in a fragment, but let's go ahead and jump in. Delete that first line. public view. So that means we're gonna return a view. We're gonna be returning the fragment view. On create view. Now these are standard parameters. Layout inflator. We'll call that layout inflator. View group. We'll call that container. Yes. Container. Bundle, save instance. And we got those open curly braces. Super on create, save instance state. That'll stay the same. Set content view. We're gonna get rid of that. Again, that will be running in the main activity still. So let's create a root view. Root view equals inflator dot inflate r dot layout dot fragment main container false. Awesome. Do we have the RecyclerView there? Yes, we do. Look at that. One difference right here is that in the activity we could always find view by ID, but this time we have to put root view dot find view by ID. Why is inflator coming in like that? Inflator. Oh, is it layout inflator? Yeah, I think I just layout. There we go. I was just calling it the wrong thing. We got the decoration for the line. This will change in the fragment. It's kind of funky, but instead of saying this, we will say get activity parentheses. So kind of a get activity function. Get activity. So wherever you see this, just replace it with get activity. Layout message. Update list. We're going to change this in just a second. Just let me see if there's anything we really need to change at the moment. So you can see that we have a red squiggly line right here. So just in case we don't forget, or just so we don't forget, let's return the root view. Because again, it's a method that wants a view to be returned. We have some few other things to do, but real quick, we're going to define a variable in the main activity, and it's going to be a global variable. It'll be probably our only global variable in the entire code, but what we want to do is change it through button means. Like when we access a button, we want to change this, and it's global, so anyone can access it. Any button can change it, and it doesn't leave it static. Or static's not the right word, but so wherever we are in the application, we can put in a different subreddit and populate that list. So what we're gonna do, and we keep it here, so we have to put it in the main activity because each time we load another subreddit, we reload the fragment. So if we reloaded the fragment and had a global variable in there, that global variable would convert back to default every time, to its default value. So public static string. Let's just call it global subreddit. Let's call it frag subreddit for fragment because that's the subreddit that we're going to be pulling for the fragment, and the default value on which it will start at will be so we can see puppies. Back in main fragment, when we're up here, we're trying to declare. So we're trying to run that update list function, which is down below, of course. But we can't do anymore. We're gonna do what are we gonna do? We're gonna do MainActivity dot frag subreddit, because we're pulling that variable from the MainActivity class. On add-on scroll listener, I believe stays the same. Nothing there. Our buttons will change, however. So in a fragment, I don't believe buttons can just be clicked. I don't know. In my experience, this is how I did the buttons for fragments, and this is another way you can do them, and this way you do them inside the onCreate view rather than just saying in the layout folder, on click run this method. So nevertheless, this is at least another way to create a function for a button. Button, M button, Alt enter equals button. Let's find that one. View dot find view by ID r dot ID. What do we call it? We called it oh god, what do we call it? Gaming button, right? Gaming button. Yeah, there we go. Now what do we want to do? That button, we should set that on click listener. So always be waiting for our touches and our calls. New view dot on click listener. Open curly braces. At override. Public void on click, which means when we touch it, it will do the following. It will set the global variable that we set, the frag subreddit, that will equal gaming. This is our gaming button. So what we want to do is change that global variable to gaming. So when we reload the fragment, gaming will appear right here, as opposed to or pics or funny or food. And then we also want to reload the fragment. So we're gonna make the changes, and then we reload everything. Reload fragment. We will define the reload fragment further down in class. Let's do that right now. And then we'll define the second button later. The reload fragment. Okay. After this, these two buttons are not going to be operational in the fragment, so let's get rid of those. And now let's create the reload fragment. The reload fragment method. Let's define our fragment. Equals new main fragment. Fragment transaction. Call that transaction. Have that equal to get fragment manager dot begin transaction. So we're doing something with the fragment, and what are we going to do with it? I'm going to go transaction dot replace. Replace the fragment in the layout with the new fragment that we just defined up here. So again, if you have like completely different, fragments that are not the same, and again, I know we're kind of just reloading the same information, but this is great if you want to, pass in all sorts of different fragments, all different kinds of, with all different layouts and everything like that. Now transaction.commit, because you want to make the commitment, and bam. That's an awesome little method that we just popped in there. Where's our button? So now our button should work. Let's create our second button. button. What should I call it? I should have given these better names. You know what? Let's change this to gaming button. Let's change this to to match it. There you go. That's much better. And this will be pix button. That will be a button. Root view dot find view by ID r.id dot it was pix button, right? Pix button. Pix button dot set on click listener. New view dot on click listener. Curly braces at override. God, what? Get off of my screen, for goodness sakes. Public void on click. View v. Main activity dot frag subreddit equals pix. Why did this come in? I'll check that in a second. Reload fragment. Awesome. Did I not make a pix? Let's go make a pix. Very cool. And again, these can be whatever you want. Cool. Now I think we can keep on going through trying to solve all of our errors that pop up through the fragment. So instead of MainActivity.this, we'll just say getActivity. Another this, we'll put getActivity. The same thing, right? Replace this with getActivity. Replace this with getActivity. Again, getActivity. I don't think we need this whole thing. Let's just get rid of it. Looks like we got an extra curly brace. And I think we are ready to scabadoo. And we're ready to rock. Let me get out of this. These virtual devices are something else. Let me tell you. Cool. Now let's run this. Again, if it breaks again, I'll do it on my Nexus 7. But hopefully the emulator works. But we just might have a working application on our hands. Let's go ahead and run it on the tablet. Okay, I'm gonna try it on the tablet and see what happens. Those virtual devices are just something else, I swear. I might have just screwed something up. This might not work. Stop. God, my tablet's horrible too. God, this is so bad. I'm gonna X out. Replay it. Come on. God, I knew it disconnected somehow. There we go. I'm just testing it before I put it in front of the camera. Alright, cool. Let me disconnect and I'll get it in the camera. So again, this code should work. So if it's working for you, rock on. You don't have to continue dealing with me. But let's focus on the light a little bit, see if I can. So again, now we're scrolling up. It's gonna. Oh, you know what? I didn't comment out everything on the main activity. Like, that might be a problem, but. So that's working fine. Now let's touch a button. Can I do it without looking? Gaming. So again, that reloads the whole fragment. And we are endless scrolling. Let's click on picks. Continue to endless scroll, baby. Awesome, you guys get the picture. And so since we just added all that to a fragment, we actually can go into our main activity and just like get rid of everything. Because we are not using a thing anymore from this. I am deleting all this. Yeah, there might have been a problem because I'm trying to update the list in this activity. Maybe that's why it was having a problem on the emulator, but let's just go ahead and not have that problem. Let's go ahead and get rid of everything we can get rid of. We still need to populate it, but really everything else can go. Now you can see we have nothing now. I don't even think we need these really. But we can leave them in there. They came with the activity, that's fine. We can get rid of all these. So you can see that the fragment's pretty much taken over everything. We can go to the activity main, what we commented out here. Get rid of this as well. We don't need all these imports. Oh yeah, this is just housekeeping at this point. Hopefully I didn't mess up anything. The one variable we do need is the frag subreddit, because that fragment subreddit will be used over and over again. And again, it's that global variable that we put in the main activity, so we don't override ourselves. Are we good to go? Let's go ahead and get out of that. Let's go ahead and run it on the emulator. It should work better. I hope it does. Oh wait, you know what? Back to. Never mind. I was gonna say we had to change some of the buttons in the activity, but we deleted them. Okay, so run on the emulator and see. It just like crashed on us again. Success. Let me just try it on my Nexus to see if we get the same error. play Nexus. So I'm running it on my Nexus tablet, and everything's running fine. Those emulators, I swear, are just a piece of work. I'm gonna disconnect. Let's go back to OBS. Oh, jeez. Probably because I ruined it. Where my recycler? What do we call this? We called it my recycler list. Right? Can you see it? Here we go. Again, this is the same exact thing that we just looked at, just less code, or deleting the whole thing from the main activity. Let's go to another one. Gaming, loading, and let's go through this. Cool. So that's it for this app. There's a couple more improvements that I want to make. So the next video will definitely be the last video. Two things we're going to cover. We're going to cover screen rotation, which is a big deal, because I think right now when you rotate it, it's just going to crash or something. And we're also going to cover card views, two very quick fixes. So let's make it happen. I'll see you in the next video.